You know what? I didn't realize that wasn't part of the broadcast. You were just seeing a dark shadow. That's pretty funny. So here we are. Oh man, can't push the buttons tonight either. Man, fired up. Oh man, and I want to apologize because I really totally for the Giant faithful that joined on Thursday night because they take this time to really get to discuss the New York Football Giants and the goddamn thing. I forgot to charge my phone, so I got a plug that's too damn short and whatnot. So it's kind of funny. So I got that going on. We have a lot to talk about because the embarrassment of Sunday, and but I'll get into the whatchamacallit. I'll get into the obviously Gettleman, but what really perturbed me, what really kind of burned me a little bit, Leonard Williams, Big Cat. You know what? You're not the Big Cat because you're a Robin. You're not Batman. So let's pump the brakes for a minute. You got paid for nothing. Okay? So, hey, Angela, how you doing? Nevada Nick, playing cards, I'm assuming, so we'll see if he gets in or not. Hopefully he'll be able to join us or not, him and those poker games. I don't know. So, but, Leonard Williams, all the booze bothered you. Well, you know what? First of all, suck it up, Buttercup. And second, you don't boo the salesman. Well, guess what? Okay, you are the salesman. Well, you're not the salesman. I take that back. You're the product, and the product is failing us, and we want a refund. We want a refund, so we're going to boo you. So why don't you give us your money back that you got paid and pay us to come watch you play that garbage you call football right now? How's that sound? Okay? How's that sound? Because I honestly don't appreciate these guys. I'll stop because I don't want to be incorrect in speaking. But you know what? Man up. How about that? How about man up? And, we paid you a ton of money. You're the reason a lot of average Joes like myself can't afford to go to a game. And then you expect us to pay this big money, and that's what you're putting out there? And then you're whining about people booing? Really? Really? I mean, I don't understand. I work for a living. So when I pay my hard-earned money to take my kids to a game, and that's what I get, unacceptable. Unacceptable. I want a refund. I want my money back. I am tired of this. This is New freaking York, all right? The largest market in the planet. And if you can't make it here, then hit the road, okay? We don't want you. And yes, I'm roping Kerr Cole into that as well because, you're another piece of work, okay? And don't worry, I'll let you have it in February when pitchers report, okay? Because that's in and of itself. But, unacceptable. On the plus side, Joe Judge did come out, use the old phrase, the fish stinks from the head down. Okay. And so, he was taking responsibility, and he wasn't pointing fingers, F-bombing, and and I don't care about the F-bomb stuff. You know what? It is what it is. Every coach has their way of getting to players, and his is that way. I know, and I have a way, and some kids get it, some kids don't, and but you know what? I it was nice to hear him, hey, it's with me. I have to do a better job. He didn't point fingers at anybody else but himself, which was a positive. And I think, I mean, that's kind of like throwing a chair off the deck of the Titanic, right? But still, it's a start somewhere. It's a start. But, I mean, unacceptable. You have Carolina coming in, who's started out red hot and have seemed to cool down, and how important Christian McCaffrey is to that team. It is, so we might be primed to take one, but we'll see. But I don't understand a guy who, got carted off. I live in Dewey Beach, and I don't think I've seen any drunks stumble that bad the way he stumbled in the Dallas game. Okay. And then for the following week to put him out there in a blowout for 4 full quarters and give me, blow this sunshine up my ass about, oh, he needs to get reps with these guys. Well, what the hell was training camp for? Maybe if you played him during the preseason, maybe just a little bit, it might have worked. We might be in a little better spot. I'm not saying, oh, it's all because of that. It's not. But what it is, is they got to play some. And all of a sudden, I don't want to hear that he's a top 10 quarterback. Oh, well, that was just because of all these injuries. Hey, next man up. Because I beg anyone to, go through the laundry list of receivers that Tom Brady was stuck with during his time in New England. Because everybody knows about Randy Moss and the big name guys, but it's those everyday guys that who were they? Because guess what? When they left New England, you'd never heard of them again. They never went up. Tom Brady made those guys. And that's the difference between greatness and pedestrian. And right now, Daniel Jones is pedestrian. And I don't think he will ever reach. I'm not saying he's going to get in the same class as Tom Brady. Not at all. But what I'm just saying is Tom Brady took what he had. He took lemons and made lemonade. And right now, all he's doing is squeezing lemons in his eyes. And for you, those of you old enough to know, they used to do that in the old days for the eyes, and didn't realize how bad it was. That's why so many people were wearing them Uncle June glasses. So anyway, it is Daniel Jones is pedestrian. And why are, the whole, kicking trash cans, Mr. Mara? You know what? I think you need to go downstairs, knock on Ronnie Barnes's door, and ask to see and get a test, okay, for dementia. Alzheimer's, because, I don't think you're a fit owner. I don't think so. Oh, you didn't kick a trash can. He tripped over it walking out the door. And they just try to play it up. Okay? I this is unacceptable. Why does Dave Gettleman have a job on Thursday right now? Why? Because let me tell you, by the time the NFL went off the air on Sunday, he should have had his box in his hand with his stuff off his desk and out the door. Because you're going to allow this man to go have a fire sale knowing he's out the door. You saw what he did with Leonard Williams. I mean, come on. He bid against himself with Leonard Williams. He outbid himself and gave up these picks and forced our hand into signing him. You know, I mean, I don't understand why the man still has a job. And let's just go down. And it starts with Barkley. Okay? It starts with Barkley. You know, the Carson Wentz of running backs. MVP season the first year. Can't play since. But yet we picked up his option. Picked it up. Sure. For what? For what? Now we're on the hook. Now we're on the hook. Okay? Then the following year, we trade OBJ. You know, we make a big deal. OBJ. We didn't sign him to trade him. But what did you do? You signed him and traded him. Had to take a cap hit. You know. And now looking at it, okay, that worked out because he's declined. But why did you sign him? Why did you sign him? That should be the question. Why? Again. So now, great, we have 2 picks coming up in the draft. You know, but we're set on Eli. We are still set on Eli because you said Eli is still our guy. And we get a defensive end falls in our lap at 6. But what do we do? What do we do? We get a quarterback, not only a quarterback that was a late first round, early second round pick, but we used the number 6 pick on him. And then let's go down into the second pick, which is the OBJ pick. And we take a defensive lineman with foot injury issue at the time. And because of that pick, we let go of probably one of our best defensive linemen in Tomlinson because we didn't want to sign him because we had to sign, you know, and I'll get, because I'm doing the timeline. And let's not forget, because all the Giant family, all the boards and stuff that I belong to, post, people are forgetting. Don't remember, we gave up picks and moved back up into the first round to get a defensive back. Oh, and I believe he's out of the league right now. Okay? Because that's, again, here we did. Now we go and I'm forgetting the Nate Solder contract. Another big signing we had to have. Nate Solder. Who we got offensive lineman on the bench rating higher than he is. And now we have to live with him because of Andrew Thomas, who's the next pick. Out of all, tackle heavy draft, because, you know, we have a lot of holes to fill with the Giants, and a tackle heavy draft could have traded back, gotten a few picks, still gotten a tackle. Instead, we take the lowest rated tackle and pick him at the highest position. I'm just saying. Okay, and the jury's still out. I mean, he did get trucked his first year, and starting to come around. But again, where is he? On the shelf. Okay, and then we go. Am I forgetting? Am I up to the the Kenny Golladay signing, because we had to sign a receiver because there wasn't any receivers in the draft. The draft was not receiver heavy, so we had to go out and get an injury prone guy and pay him a ton of money. And where is he now? Oh, that's right. He is on the IR. That's right. So we had to do that. But then, oh my God, we make a trade. And we trade back. All right, great. Because we need somebody to rush the passer. Nah, we don't need a fast rusher, Dave Gettleman says. Nah, we don't need him. We need another receiver, another one who can't get on the field because we have a lot of receivers. In case you didn't know, in case you didn't look at our roster, we had a whole host of receivers. Gets on the field, and I still think he's a one-trick pony. And he's OG can't even speak now. OBJ-esque in he is the type of guy that will be great if he's the only guy. He doesn't play well with others in the sandbox. And you can see that. So he is a one-trick pony. So now, I'm forgetting a couple of things as well, because remember, we got Will Hernandez, who was a first-round grade. Who the hell graded him? I want to know. If he had a first-round grade, he would have went in the first round. So, again, and another, and granted, the kid's obviously grading our best defensive lineman, the kid from Georgia, and I apologize with the name. So, but he's not the guy to come in. He's just not. It's just not that guy. Another. He's a first round grade, and we got him as a steal. Well, no, you didn't, because we're not putting any pressure on the quarterback. I'm unacceptable, and it is unacceptable. You sold us, and I'm the first one to raise my hand. I drank the Kool-Aid from day one with Joe Judge, finally. And man, we saw promise. We saw promise. We saw it. Aaron, we got excited. Here we are. Our defense is good, man. We added another corner piece. Wow. All right. Man. You know what? You can't even turn off a faucet right now. It is the defense which was supposed to be the cornerstone of this team. Is horrible. Just absolutely horrible. And then, so where do we go? Why are you here, Dave Gettleman? Because, from day one, and I say this all the time, and maybe it's the Yankee fan in me when I hear that Boston accent and he talks down to me. Yeah, because I don't know if you know that, but he is talking to me personally, because I take it personally, just like every other Giant fan takes it personally. Like we don't know football. I don't understand football. Hey, I have a letter that says I'm not qualified to coach football at a high school level. I'm not qualified. So it's okay. You brought into it. That's right, David. I brought into it too, man. And they haven't produced. And what do we do? Here it is. Here it is, David. Let me tell you right now. Okay. And don't forget, we had to pay Patrick Graham money because he was going to be a head coach somewhere. We paid him more money to stay. Right? He paid him more money to stay. Go figure. And I agree. It is time to burn it down. But how long? My question is, and David, I don't know. You might not be old enough. And I was a child at the time. But the Giants, the NFL had to step in. George Young was not hired by the Maras. George Young was appointed by the NFL to fix the team. How long is the NFL going to sit back and watch the largest market on the planet have two bad football teams? And by the way, when we're talking about two bad football teams, who made the schedule this year to have both the Jets and the Giants at 1 o'clock? If I owned a TV station, I would be livid because everybody at 4 o'clock in New York is shutting the TV off because they're all watching the 1 o'clock game and nobody's watching 4 o'clock. And let me tell you, if you look at the schedule, all the games are pretty crappy. I think the best is Angela's Raiders and the Eagles at 4 o'clock is probably the only game worth watching. And I don't even know if there's more than 3 games anyway. Is there normally 4? I forget. But so it is, what kind of idiot does that? So, but I agree. The Maras have to get out of their comfort zone. Get out. Stop hiring guys who have been part of the organization. If you're going to hire somebody, you want somebody to feel good, you want to hire somebody, bring Bill Parcells back. Apologize to the man and let him run the front office. Why don't you do that? Why haven't you done that? The guy brought you your first damn Super Bowl. You wouldn't give him any power, so he left. And he's won everywhere he went. He's turned teams around. And if Jerry Jones got out of his way, Dallas would have a trophy case full of trophies. I mean, if you're going to go that route. And the only other one, in all seriousness, too, is Mike Mayock. Because I heard he's probably going to step down after this year with the Raiders, with that whole debacle and everything. And he played for Parcells, and I like Mayock. I mean, if Mayock's available, he would be a guy. And you know what? I am not upset with Louis Riddick speaking the way he spoke. And I don't feel like he was upset that he didn't get. Maybe he was. Maybe he was upset that he didn't get the job. But he was speaking the truth. At least, he has a bigger voice box platform than I do. But he's been saying the same thing that I've been saying, and every other Giant fan has been saying. But you need some fresh blood in there. You need somebody, because the general manager and the coach go hand in hand. And I didn't even go through Dave Gettleman and his coaches. I mean, geez, we had to hurry up and promote what the hell that idiot was. And by the way, was the last time we had a winning season and went to a playoff. Doug or McAdoo, Ben McAdoo. So we had him We had to get rid of him, Jerry Reese. And Jerry Reese, another one. All we did was promote in. And all he did was rest on Ernie Accorsi's laurels and the team that he built. And he never, ever put pieces around Eli and did a disservice to Eli. So, and it is horrible and upsetting that we are the new Cleveland East of the NFL. And I'm sorry that and I like Joe Judge, and I think Joe Judge will be a good head coach somewhere. He will at some point, and maybe, and just maybe, it's at the college level. He did Mississippi State. He came from there, coached at Alabama as well, and maybe he'll be a guy that will be, at the college level. And the Giants just need to go and get an innovator, a young guy, and not from the college ranks, but you know what? The offensive coordinator, we might have our new head coach on the sidelines this Sunday in Carolina. That offensive coordinator doing really well. I like that guy. So there are some offensive coordinators and guys that we can bring in and revamp this team. So, and I know Todd Bowles' name's thrown around. Absolutely not. He tried it once in New York. It's not going to work. And look, honestly, Eric Bieniemy, honestly, I don't know that he even wants to leave Kansas City. I think Andy would like to step down, but he wants to. And when we get Nick and Stiz on Sunday, I'm going to bring this up. I think is something of a, I think Andy wants one more, right? Yes, I agree. He's good fit. He'll be a good fit wherever he goes, but I don't think that Bieniemy wants to leave. I think he wants to stay in Kansas City. I think he wants to stay there. I think he is the heir apparent to Andy Reid. And why wouldn't you? It ain't broke. You don't need to fix it. So, I just take him out of the mix and move on with that, but there are some coordinators out there that I could see coming in and being a coordinator, and don't be surprised, and don't jump on me. I don't think Matt Nagy's going to be the coach in Chicago. He was a great offensive coordinator. I know Delaware connection, blah blah blah. But he was a good coordinator, and some guys are better coordinators than they are head coaches. And so don't be surprised if he finds his way as a coordinator as well. So we'll see. But I think the Giants need to do their due diligence, long and hard search. It starts with the general manager and then the head coach, and that is first and foremost, and stop getting these retreads. I'm tired of the retread, and that's kind of my excitement of Joe Judge. He wasn't a retread. It was somebody new. So, and excited for him, but I just think it was a bad situation that he got put in, because and going back, David, to blowing it up is the also is who is the these scouts, because I want to know who put that first round grade on Will Hernandez. Where are these guys? Oh, big deal. Everybody had Justin Herbert rated high, except for the Dolphins. The Dolphins were the only ones who didn't rate Justin Herbert high. I mean, come on. We could have had Justin Herbert. Yeah, you could have, but you didn't want to wait. You got itchy, Dave Gettleman. You got itchy. Instead of going to the doctor, getting a little powder for the itch, you sat and scratched it. And this is what happens. Because you could have waited a year. You could have waited a year. You could have let Eli stay there and let him walk off into the sunset and brought in a Fitzpatrick type, not saying him, but a placeholder, drafted Herbert, brought him in, and came in and let that take place. You could have waited, and you would have had a defensive end. You would have had the pieces. You could have had your defensive tackle, your offensive tackle. You could have had pieces to put around the quarterback because it starts inside out. Instead, you tried to skip some steps, and you went with a running back. Because I remember, Nick Chubb, he's injury prone. He's not the guy. But, who's played more games so far in their career? I'm just saying who has more time, more snaps. But again, you had to jump the gun. And for that, hit the bricks. Don't let the door hit you in the ass on the way out, my friend. Okay? Go back to Boston, please. Because the accent is killing me. So, all right. I've only spent 33 minutes bitching and complaining about the New York Football Giants. Let me get a sip of water here. But it's my Thursday night therapy. Thank you, and thank you for chiming in and jumping in. I appreciate it. And the phone line's open if you want to call. 302-313-6797 is the number. Let me throw it up on the screen if I can here. Yep, there you go. So you can always chime in and get your voice be heard. Because I'm not the best with the electronics and posting it up, but we do have a football game tonight, Thursday night football. So, we'll I'll wrap it up here in a little bit, a couple minutes, and get ready, get a little dinner, get ready for some football. Banged up Browns team that is really on life support right now. A team that I was very high on at the beginning of the season. All the pieces were in place. They got the offensive line fixed. They got a bunch of weapons. They got a hell of a running game. On defense, they got some great pass rushers. They got, behind them, they have a good back seven. So, they had all the pieces in place. They started off well, and now they've hit a brick, but bunch of injuries taking place. The backup court, Baker's not playing tonight. But if you remember, Case Keenum played for Stefanski in Minnesota and played well. And I think a one-game situation like this, he can play well. And if that Denver team shows up like they did on Sunday, it's going to be, I think that Cleveland can win this football game. And boy, do they need it, because Nevada Nick, who has been saying, Baltimore is Fugazi, Baltimore. Well, they took one of the best teams in the AFC and smacked them in the mouth and won, and granted, they're only 5-1 because of a, million-mile field goal and some late game heroics and whatnot. But their record is what their record is, and they are sitting at the top of the division. So, and which is getting pretty tight. So, it's a must win. And then, you look at the Broncos, but, Von Miller said, he's going to eat up the backup tackle. That's some bulletin board material, but, because he was awful quiet against the Raiders on Sunday. And, Teddy Bridgewater just looked pedestrian, and, so we'll see. But I think that Cleveland pulls it out. I do. I think they wind up winning it tonight. I don't know what the spread is. That's not that's not my job. That's above my pay grade. That's Nevada Nick's deal. So he's like I said, in the card game, whatever he's doing. So he's not going to join me. So I'm just winging it. I like the Browns tonight. So we'll see. We'll see how that plays out. And we'll go from there and see, and get ready for Sunday. Sunday regular time. Nevada Nick should be with us. Stiz will be here with his props and fantasy advice. So it should be a fun and exciting Sunday morning. So come back and join us 10 a.m. Eastern time. We appreciate the love, everybody showing up, being part of the show. Please share it with your friends. Like the page. Go over to YouTube. Ring the bell. Subscribe to the YouTube channel as we stream live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. This show is simulcast on those three platforms. So we appreciate everybody who's checking us out. And then, obviously we upload it to Instagram. And also you can check it out on as a podcast wherever you listen to podcasts, Apple, Odyssey, all those, wherever you get your podcast from. Just type in Coach Muddle. I pop up and you can, listen to us at work or whenever you want. We appreciate you guys chiming in, and checking us out. So thank you, everyone. Have a great night. Enjoy some football tonight. Giant fans, please, we stick together. We'll commiserate again. Join us Sunday. I try to fit in as much as I can because, we got Nevada Nick taking up Thursday nights is really devoted to you, the Giant fan who has, really going through this tough time. Years now. It's years, really, and it's unacceptable, and it shouldn't be happening. So I appreciate everyone. Thank you. Enjoy the night. Again, I appreciate everyone. We'll see you guys Sunday morning, 10 a.m. And be safe and enjoy some football. Thanks, guys.